everybody, my name's Jonathan and welcome to Barely Unboxed. Today we're back with another retro video, a lot like my previous Rainbow Bright video. I got a new Rainbow Bright shirt and I thought it was very fitting for what we're looking at today. We're looking at My Little Pony. So I've always been a huge fan of My Little Pony since I was a little kid. I used to look at them all the time in the toy aisle when I was little, and I didn't get that many of them because when I was a kid I was always very concerned about what was a girl toy and what was a boy toy, so I didn't get a lot of what I deemed a girl toy, but I had a few My Little Ponies, especially the boy ponies. I remember having a mail order boy pony. And he was a little blue baby pony, and he was like one of my favorites. I think my grandma helped me order that one. She was always so good at mail order and also at allowing me to be myself. And I always appreciate that about my grandma. So anyway, I digress. So today we're looking at a few things, and you may have seen in the thumbnail, we do have some thrifted ponies to look at. They're over here right now because we will look at them in a second. But recently at Dollar Tree, they got in these 5 little minifigures. We are at a new iteration of My Little Pony. We're up to Generation 5 now, and I will admit, I'm not a big fan of the Generation 5 art style. It's 3D rendered versions of the characters, but they just look so weird to me. I do think these figures are actually really cute. Here is the barcode. I think they all have a different barcode. Yes, they do. So as I open them, I'll show you the barcode. Now, these I found at Dollar Tree. You might be able to order them on Dollar Tree's website, but I'm not entirely certain. I haven't looked that up. These sold out so fast at the Dollar Tree I found them at, and I'm glad I picked them up when I did. So there's 5 characters from this new Generation 5. So we have Izzy. These come with a bonus card, like a little trading card. So this is Izzy's barcode. And we'll go ahead and just start opening these and looking at them. And then you may also see we have this. And I'll talk about that once we go through these. So these obviously are just little figurines. They don't have the hair that, that we're used to My Little Ponies having, like brushable hair. But here is Izzy right out of her packaging. She has a cutie mark on both sides. And hers looks like a little button on a heart with a crown. I don't really know a lot about this generation because I haven't really got into it, but I think this is adorable. Here's her trading card. It's glossy. It has a whole little bio on the back. Izzy Moonbow. And she is a unicorn. Now, these are made by Just Play. It says it right here, but it also says licensed by Hasbro. So look for these at your local Dollar Tree. If you're international, sorry, but I don't know if they are available in your country or not. I'm opening this one up before we even look at it. So this is Pip, and here is Pip's barcode. All right, so these are really well made, I will admit. The paint job on them is actually really well done. She has music notes as her cutie mark. And she's a Pegasus. And it looks like she has like a little hair decoration too. Very cute. The only way that these could be any better would be if they actually had real hair that you could brush. Now, there are larger versions of these characters that you can get, and they're actually a little harder to find. I looked at Target because I wanted to get one, and they actually did not have any. They didn't have a single one at my local Target. I even looked on their website, and I would have had to have ordered it. It was really kind of weird. Maybe it's not quite as current or popular, so they don't stock them anymore. I don't know. So this is Hitch, and this is a boy pony. I love this little guy. I like the color scheme for him, the blue and the yellow. And here is his barcode. And I always had a huge love for like the boy characters in these like girl-oriented cartoons from the 80s. I always had the boy character. And I still appreciate the boy characters so much. So he has what looks like a shield with a horseshoe and hearts as his cutie mark. He's very cute. Here is his trading card. I just think the faces on these are a little too human. I think that's what it is about them. I don't know. There's just something about these figures that I find a little creepy, but being small, I find them less creepy. I don't know what it is. So this is Zip. And here is Zip's barcode. All right. And I have a huge collection of old My Little Pony toys that I find thrifting. And some reproductions. So I'm going to add these to that collection. So here is Zip. And Zip has a lightning bolt cutie mark. I really like this character. I like the mane and the wings and the color scheme. It's very cool. Here is Zip's card. And Zip is a princess. But a royal rebel. All right, and then last we have Sunny. And here is Sunny's barcode. And I always had kind of a love for the orange ponies because there weren't that many. All right, so what is her cutie mark? Looks like a star and a leaf or a moon. I'm not really certain what that is. Maybe a feather? If you know what the cutie mark is, leave a comment down below. Because maybe you know more about these than I do. And here is Sunny's trading card. And I do know that Sunny is like the main character of this new generation. And in this new generation, the previous generation is like celebrities to them. I think they're like basically a show that they watch or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there you have those figures, which are very cute. Now, there was a previous set of figures at Dollar Tree of these characters, and I had Hitch, but I actually got rid of it because they were really, really terrible. They were like translucent plastic with barely any detail. I think the eyes were the only thing painted, and they looked very static. And just these actually have like poses to them, which I really appreciate. That reminds me more of the old school My Little Ponies. And speaking of old school, I just picked this up at Target. I actually was looking for a similar pack that came with the full-size ponies with the manes and tails that are actually brushable. And they didn't have it anymore, but they did have this. So I went ahead and picked it up. And this has Gusty, Firefly, and Bowls. I just think these are so cool. And it has them all on the side. I love these little figures. So it looks like they actually don't have, you know, like hair in the front, but their tails look like they are actually like hair that you can brush, although they're very tiny. Alright, so let's get this open. And I thought it would be fun to compare these to these little Dollar Tree ones because they're like the same size and very similar colors, oddly enough. So those just popped right out. There was nothing really holding them in place. And we'll take a look at this one. So this is Bubbles. And she has little bubble cutie marks. And she does have a tail. It has hair gel in it, oddly enough. I really wasn't expecting that, but let me see if I can brush it out. There we go. So that just brushed out really easily. And it's very soft. And they do come with little bows. It's very soft. They come with a little bow. It's really cute. I love the way they did these. These look like the original ponies. And as you can see, these are very similar colors. Isn't that great? I love it. And these look tiny compared to these. So, love that. All right, and then we also have Firefly, which also does have some hair gel in the tail. And that one also has a little bow. And she has lightning bolts on her. And she is a Pegasus pony. And she's very similar pink to this one. Different mane color, though. She's more similar to this one, to be honest. Izzy. So we'll just sit her right between the two of them. And then last we have Gusty. And I remember Gusty. I think I have an original Gusty in my collection. I don't have it in my room with me, though. Or I grab it. And Gusty has leaves that are like blowing in the wind as her cutie mark. And she even has the multicolored hair. Very cute. And oddly enough, very similar colors to this one. With the pink in the hair. So very cool. I think these are worth it. These were only $1.25, and then they come with, you know, a trading card, and they're really nicely made. They're tiny though, and those are $1.25 each at Dollar Tree. And then this 3-pack was $9.99. So you're paying like $3.33 per pony, which isn't terrible. They are very tiny. They're very detailed though. The only thing I would have liked is if they actually had a mane that was the same hair. I feel like being tiny though, it probably doesn't work very well, and that's probably why they didn't do it. But there you have that. Now, for the main event, pun intended, I have some thrifted ponies, and here's one of them. I cleaned these up, and I will show you how I did that. So I start by just inspecting the pony and making sure that it doesn't have any marks that I need to get rid of. And this white pony had a ton of little scuff marks or dirt marks all over her body. And all you got to do most of the time is wash them with some dish soap. Usually works really well. And I always undo the hair if it's in a braid. This one actually came with one of her original hair ties, which I will show you in a bit here. So I just take a comb and I take out the ponytail or the braid, whatever they have. Her hair was actually in really, really good condition. She didn't really need much work. I was very excited about that. So this one's name is Sunny Days. She was from Generation 3, which I love Generation 1 and Generation 3 ponies. Those are the ones that I normally collect because they're very similar looking. Generation 2 is a very different looking design, but Generation 3 kind of went back to the original generation. So this one came out back all the way in 2004. And so all I do is take a toothbrush with the soap all over her and I just scrub. And most of the time it'll get rid of a lot of these marks. Unless they're done with a permanent marker or ink, you might have to use something different to remove it all. But I use a soft bristle brush, which makes it so you can actually go over the marks that are painted and not worry about it scuffing them up. So then you just rinse it off and you can see a lot of the marks are gone. And then the next step is I use a conditioner on the hair, and it can be pretty much any conditioner. This is the same conditioner I use on Rainbow High dolls in my collection, and Barbie and Monster High. I just get it at either Dollar Tree or Walmart. It's very cheap and it smells really good. I have a couple different scents depending on what I'm in the mood for. And then I just take a wide toothbrush and I just start brushing the hair from the tip out and then from the root out, and make sure all the tangles come loose. And it really helps to do this after you put the conditioner on. I'm rinsing the conditioner off, and then I take a different comb that's got a wide tooth to it, and I brush through until it goes through without any resistance. And then I flip it around to the smaller tooth part, and then I go through one final time. And then I just rinse out all the conditioner and pull out any hairs that come out, dry it off with a towel or a paper towel. I often just use paper towels because I have them handy right there. And as you can see, she looks so much better. There's a few marks left on her, and one way to get rid of marks is just by using alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So I keep this isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol on hand, and I just take a paper towel, or you can use a Q-tip. You can use anything that's soft, and then I just try to clean those spots off. And if that doesn't work, the final step is to use some acetone. And I do use some on this later on, but I don't have a video for that because it was just such a quick thing, and I figured I could just tell you about it. When you use the acetone, you got to be very careful not to touch any of the paint, and even the alcohol can remove the paint if you're not careful, because that's what we're trying to do, is remove marks. So, but the acetone, I just put on a small Q-tip and then I take it to the spots I want to remove, and it often will remove them unless it's bled into the plastic, and then that's a whole other story. But I didn't have any of that today, so I won't even go into that. So the last thing I always do is, while their hair is wet, is I wrap it around their mane around their neck and their tail around their hind leg, and secure it with a rubber band. And then I just let it dry naturally, like overnight, and it'll usually keep a very nice curl to the hair without doing too much work. So then we also have this pony. I actually have 4 thrifted ponies to look at today. So this pony is named Meadowbrook. She was part of a play set called Cotton Candy Cafe, and she was like one of 4 ponies that came with that. But she also came with another play set called the Blossom Shop and also the Celebration Salon. And then there was also a version of her that was a single pony, and I'm not really sure which one this is because they all look exactly the same. So she could have been just the same. She was considered a free pony. When you bought one pony, it came with her for free. So I'm basically just doing the same thing with this one. So I won't go into complete full detail, but wash it with soap and water. She actually didn't really have any marks on her to worry about. I just had to wash her hair. It was really, really tangled and matted. Using the conditioner really helped with that. As you can see, her hair is now like very silky smooth looking. So again, you just dry them off and make sure to get most of the water out of the hair. And look at that, beautiful. It looks so beautiful now, and it didn't even take much work. And again, I just wrap the tail around the hind leg and the mane goes around the neck. Secure it with rubber bands. It's so easy. I don't know, I can't remember who I learned this trick from, but I believe it was a video on YouTube a long, long time ago when I started collecting My Little Ponies. This is another one from Generation 3. So this is Scootaloo. And from what I can tell, this is one that actually came with a cowboy hat, of all things. And I don't know much about the character. Maybe she's supposed to be cowgirl themed. Who knows? So this pony, I actually ordered off of Mercari from a seller. And this is a Gen 1 pony. And he is a daddy pony. He has the fur around his hooves. And he's actually one of the ponies I've always wanted. He is from the Loving Family Ponies, and he was known as Daddy Sweet Celebrations. And he has gigantic cutie marks on him, and it was called Twice as Fancy Symbol was like the gimmick, where the symbols were like around the whole body. So he actually was in remarkable condition and didn't really have any marks on his body to clean off. His tail was a little frizzy at the tips, so I just did a gentle washing and conditioning and combed it through, just like the other three. Usually this can help with frizzy hair, and you can also do a boil wash or a boil dip. But I decided not to. I was afraid it might ruin the hair more. Sometimes it doesn't work right. But I love Generation 1 ponies, and they're so hard to find sometimes, especially thrifting. I find Generation 3 ones thrifting all the time. So just like the other ponies, I just twist the tail up and wrap it around the hind leg, and he has a very long tail, so definitely secure that with a rubber band. And then I do the same thing with the mane, although his mane is a lot shorter, so it didn't take much. But oh, I love this pony. And now I did do a little more maintenance on him, which I will show next. So he also had some marks you can see right here. They're like little white marks, and I think something scuffed the paint and left marks on him, and I try to remove them with some acetone, and I have a Q-tip here, and this is 100% acetone. You can use nail polish remover. I recommend using the 100% on vinyl, but be careful. Sometimes it can melt the vinyl if you aren't careful. So do this at your own risk if you have similar issues. But this actually worked really well. to remove the white part of those marks. The marks are still kind of there, which I will show you here in a second. But this actually got rid of most of them. And you just want to be gentle and very careful to go around the design so that you don't remove the cutie mark too much. But yeah, as you can see, it's actually working for the most part. And there is one more thing I did with him, and I noticed when I was cleaning these marks off that his one eye was missing some paint. And so I went in and I tried my best to color match the missing paint, and I think I did a really good job. So here is what the eye looked like before. And here he is. I still have the rubber bands around him. And as you can see, these marks, you can barely see them now. Some of the cutie mark is missing, but it was like that when I got it. Now, here is the eye that I painted, and you can't even tell. I color matched, and I actually put a little paint on this one too, just to match it. And I put a matte finish on top of that. So I wanted to keep the rubber bands on at least one of these to show you when you take this off. Well, that one broke. That one was a cheap one anyway, so it's all right. All right, so when you take that off, you do kind of have to fluff it up a bit, but it should keep that curve or curl to it like that. That looks amazing. And I love Gen 1 ponies because they have this little floof in the front. All right, and then take the one off the tail. Sometimes this doesn't work, and all you have to do is just wet the hair again and retry. But as you can see, it leaves it nice and bouncy. So his tail looks actually really good now. He has a few flyaway hairs, but he looks awesome, and I'm so happy to add Daddy Sweet Celebrations to my collection. This is my first like male pony, like boy pony. There's Big Brother ponies, and I'd love to get some of those too. I just haven't found any for a reasonable price. I really want to go to like a pony convention or a toy convention and just look for the boy ponies to add to my collection. So there is Daddy Sweet Celebrations. Awesome. All right, and then here is Sunny Days. Now her mane didn't quite work. This is an example of it not really working the way that I wrapped it around her head, but her tail looks amazing. As you can see, I removed all the marks from her eye and her feet and the one that was on this hoof. So this pink hoof on these is actually magnetic. There's a magnet in there, and that was part of like the play sets would have magnets, I think, and so they could stand on the magnets and activate things or whatever. But this one is in really good condition. I love this one. I love the colors. She actually came with, I'll show you a picture here of all the stuff that she came with. She came with like a whole outfit and accessories, and she came with a hair tie with a flower on it. And this one actually came with the hair tie. So I figured I would just put it in her hair again. It was on her braid, because her hair was braided. But for now, I'm just going to put it here on her hair like that, because I'm probably going to have to redo her hair again. Actually, let me try that again. All right. so there we gave her like a little ponytail with the hair accessory. And she also has a heart where the magnet is. If you notice that, Gen 3 always had a heart where their hoof had a magnet or whatever. This one actually does not have a magnet. So this is Scootaloo. Now Scootaloo has a posable head. These later Gen 3 ones had a posable head. Now she has a hanger marking which is a little messed up. You can see it's missing some paint. And the hanger ones always had a hole instead of a magnet. And that was so she could sit on her surfboard, I believe, that she would come with. This one also came with a cowboy hat, like I was saying. And I love the eyes on these because there's a heart in the eyes. So there's Scootaloo. Now Scootaloo is very similar to Sunny. So very cool how they're very similar colors. So we'll just put Scootaloo there. And then last, I love this pony. This is probably one of my favorite ponies. This is Meadowbrook. She has a dragonfly cutie mark. I love dragonflies, so I think that's why I really like this one. And she also has the magnet in her foot and a green heart on that. Now, her mane and tail look amazing. They worked out really well wrapping them around like I did. And you can always go through and comb these out if you want them to be not so, not so like stuck together looking. But there you have it. I am so happy. And these three ponies all have the same color scheme, which I love. I love that. I think that's so much fun. They've obviously been pairing certain colors together through the whole series of My Little Pony. And I think they do that because we remember that and see these new characters and we have a connection. That's how I look at it anyway. Oh, and I wanted to point out Scootaloo has glitter on her face, which is really pretty, and on her cutie mark. So I thought that was really cool. But there you have it. I had so much fun giving them all a spa day. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. And let me know if you have any of these ponies or if you plan to get any of these little mini ones. Or maybe you actually have a favorite character out of these. Let me know that too down in the comments. Mine is probably Daddy Sweet Celebrations. I mean, look at him. He's so great. I love the hair is so well kept on this. Whoever owned this pony took very good care of it, and I appreciate that. I'm so glad that he's part of my collection now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know down in the comments if you did, and like the video as well. Share the video with people you think might like it. I know there's a lot of pony fans out there. I know like us guys in the pony fandom were called bronies for a long time. I never really called myself that, but I guess I am a brony. If that's even still a term that's used. But anyway, thank you guys so much again. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. So every week when I put up new videos, you'll get notified. Take care out there. Love you guys. Bye.